Information on the phenomenon is rare, but there have been 2 declassified studies on what are known as Fastwalkers among Air Force personnel. Per this 2008 paper, satellite-based sensors looking down at the Earth's surface occasionally observe reflected light from an object passing through the image. They move too fast relative to the background to be in Earth's atmosphere. We're a new channel covering under-the-radar declassified files like this. Subscribe to join us. Here, an Air Force captain notes that a database of Fastwalker events exists as far back as the early 70s. They're most often noticed by ballistic missile early warning systems, he says, which use satellites located in geosynchronous orbit with Earth. These sit 22,000 miles above the planet and sometimes pick up objects passing between the satellite and us. The documents don't clarify how often these events happen, but the issue appears serious enough for NORAD to have run multiple simulations on them. And according to the paper, Fastwalkers are, quote, creating a suspicion that some uncatalogued objects may exist. Reading between the lines, the files suggest this phenomenon, studied by military astrophysicists, may be related to observations of unidentified flying objects on past NASA live streams. Such as here, when an object passes in front of a space shuttle camera before the feed cuts out. Or here, when multiple objects pass in front of an ISS camera. This phenomenon is real, according to the documents that have been declassified. But the authors do not express an understanding of what it is. They conclude that Fastwalkers seem to be multiple, distinct objects. The 1989 paper also makes a very noteworthy finding after studying one event. The author found the change in intensity of the sunlight reflecting off of it indicates it is, quote, multi-surfaced. They unfortunately do not provide any data on relative velocities or rotation rate, though it's possible this information exists elsewhere. Further, there is no definitive conclusion if these objects are passively drifting or if they're actively entering and exiting orbits around Earth. Older research on the matter suggests some Fastwalkers could not be assigned predictable orbits, and others were found to be in geosynchronous orbit with an orbital period that matches the Earth's rotation. More recent research, though, finds that some also appear to be in low Earth orbits with altitudes of 1,200 miles or less. This is the range of spy satellites and the ISS. Speaking of that, it makes sense why the Air Force would be interested in tracking Fastwalkers. Logic dictates we would want to know about anomalous objects in space in case they are a threat to satellites. Operator SES announced in 2017 that a communication satellite in geosynchronous orbit 22,000 miles above Earth suffered an energetic event that nudged it out of orbit. That same summer, a satellite operated by PT Telcom partially broke up into a cloud of debris and began tumbling. It is unknown what caused this. Getting back to the research from Air Force personnel, neither attempts to explain what Fastwalkers actually are. But the puzzling nature of the objects is at least acknowledged by the authors. There are other documents, but they remain classified. US Northcom did write John Greenwald of the Black Vault and stated it has 2 documents related to regulations on Fastwalkers and slowwalkers. They unfortunately have not been made public due to FOIA Exemption B1, which protects information from disclosure in the interest of national defense or foreign policy. Let us know in the comments if you've seen these objects on NASA live feeds in the past. This is a topic these files show is taken seriously by the military, so it's something civilians should be discussing as well. Subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification bell. We also started a Patreon this week. Consider supporting our efforts to spread awareness of declassified knowledge. See you next time.